Picture this. You're an investment banker. You make $500,000 a year and somehow still feel broke because everyone around you makes $5 million. It's 5 a.m., big client meeting at 9. If this goes well, you're looking at a promotion, maybe partner track, but you've been up all night and you're exhausted. Coffee stopped working 2 hours ago. You watched Scarface the day before and thought, I need cocaine. You've done it before, parties, late nights, networking events. It's basically a productivity tool at this point. You cut a line, bigger than usual. You need to be sharp. You roll up a $100 bill and take the hit. It hits fast. You feel good, alert, ready. But then your chest tightens. Your heart's pounding harder than it should. You're breathing shallow, quick breaths that don't feel like they're doing anything. You tell yourself, it's fine, it always does this. You stand up to shake it off, and the room tilts slightly. Your vision blurs at the edges. You try to reach for your phone, and then you collapse. Oh, hey there. Before we get into why your heart just decided to quit on you, let's play a quick game. I'm gonna say some myths about cocaine, and you tell me true or false. Ready? Myth 1. If you're paying top dollar for pure, high-quality cocaine, it's safe. True or false? False. Purity makes it more dangerous, not less. It's like saying premium gasoline won't blow up your car if you pour it directly into the engine. Myth 2. You can't overdose your first time using cocaine. True or false? False. Your heart doesn't care if it's your first rodeo. One line can kill you if it's the wrong dose, or your cardiovascular system says, nah, I'm out. Myth 3. Cocaine actually makes you sharper and more productive at work. True or false? True. For about 20 minutes. Then your heart tries to escape through your rib cage and you die on your apartment floor. So, yeah, technically productive, just not for long. All right, now let's talk about what actually happens when you do a line that's just a little too big. And quick reminder, Tony Montana went out in a mansion shootout with a grenade launcher. You're about to go out alone in a suit, clutching your chest over a PowerPoint presentation, just so we're clear on the glamour factor here. So what is cocaine, and why does it turn your cardiovascular system into a ticking time bomb? Cocaine's a stimulant that floods your brain with dopamine, your feel-good chemical. When you snort it, the powder hits your bloodstream through your nasal membranes in about 3 to 5 minutes, crosses into your brain, and tells your reward system to go absolutely insane.
Yo, what's up, assholes? Time to go crazy!
You feel incredible, euphoric, confident, like you could close any deal or finish any project. Your brain's convinced you're a genius, which is exactly why this drug is so dangerous. But while your brain's having the time of its life, your cardiovascular system is in full panic mode. Cocaine does 2 things immediately. It makes your heart beat way faster, and it squeezes your blood vessels tight like you're pinching a garden hose. Your normal resting heart rate is somewhere between 60 and 100 beats per minute. On cocaine, you're looking at 140, 160, sometimes pushing 180 beats per minute. Your heart's sprinting a marathon while you're sitting at a desk typing an email. And because your blood vessels are squeezed tight, your blood pressure goes through the roof, sometimes hitting 200 over 120. That's stroke territory, by the way. Now, here's where the real problem starts. Your heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs oxygen to function. It gets that oxygen from tiny blood vessels called coronary arteries that wrap around your heart like a net. But cocaine constricts those arteries too, which means your heart is beating twice as fast, working twice as hard, and getting maybe half the oxygen it actually needs to survive. It's like revving your car engine in the red while someone's pinching the fuel line shut. You can only do that for so long before something catastrophically breaks. Your heart muscle starts suffocating and dying from lack of oxygen, and then the electrical system that keeps your heartbeat steady starts malfunctioning because dead cells don't conduct electricity very well. Your heartbeat goes from steady and regular to erratic and chaotic to completely stopped. That progression can happen in 30 minutes, sometimes less. Let's walk through what happens minute by minute, from the moment that line hits your nose to the moment your heart gives up entirely. Minute 0 to 5, you snort the line and it burns slightly because cocaine is caustic and literally eats away at your nasal tissue, but you don't care because within about 5 minutes, it's racing through your bloodstream straight into your brain. The high hits you like a wave. Your pupils dilate, energy surges through your entire body, and you feel absolutely incredible. You're sharp, you're focused, you're ready to destroy this presentation and secure that promotion. Meanwhile, your heart's already beating at 130 beats per minute, but you don't notice because you're too busy feeling like the smartest, most capable person who's ever lived. 5 to 15 minutes. You're at peak performance. Everything's clicking, ideas are flowing, you're typing faster than you ever have in your life. This is why people get hooked on this stuff. It genuinely works for a little while. Meanwhile, your heart's doing 160 beats per minute now, and your blood pressure's sitting at 180 over 110, which is objectively terrible, but you're way too focused on your spreadsheet to notice your body's distress signals. You feel a little tightness in your chest, just a twinge, nothing major. So you rub your sternum absent-mindedly and keep working because you've got maybe 2 hours left to finish this thing. What you don't realize is that your coronary arteries are squeezed so tight that your heart muscle is barely getting any oxygen at all, and cells are starting to die in real time. 15 to 25 minutes. Your chest tightness is getting worse. It's not just discomfort anymore, it's actual pain, real pressure, like someone's sitting on your sternum with their full body weight. You stand up too fast and the room spins. You grab the edge of your desk to steady yourself and think maybe you just need some water or fresh air or literally anything to make this feeling go away. But your heart rhythm is falling apart. It's not just fast anymore. It's chaotic, skipping beats entirely, firing in patterns that don't make any medical sense. You stumble to the kitchen sink, and your hands are shaking so badly you can barely turn the faucet. You're drenched in sweat even though your apartment's freezing, and your reflection in the window looks pale and wrong. You sit down on the floor because standing feels impossible, and you try to control your breathing. Slow, deep breaths, like you learned in some corporate wellness seminar. But it's not working, and that's when the real panic sets in. 25 to 35 minutes. The pain in your chest is absolutely unbearable. It's crushing, radiating down your left arm and up into your jaw, and you know with absolute certainty that something is catastrophically wrong. You collapse completely, sprawled out on your expensive hardwood floor, and you're reaching for your phone to call 911, but your arm feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds and won't cooperate with what your brain's telling it to do. Your heart's not pumping anymore. It's in ventricular fibrillation, which means it's just quivering uselessly in your chest, like a bag of worms, instead of contracting in any organized rhythm. No blood is moving through your body at all. Your vision's narrowing down to a tunnel. Everything's going dark around the edges, and sounds are becoming distant and muffled like you're underwater. You can still hear your heartbeat, but it sounds wrong, fast and irregular and like dying. You take one more gasping breath, and then your heart stops completely. Cardiac arrest. No pulse, no breathing, no consciousness. Total time from hitting that line to cardiac arrest, 32 minutes. So what does this actually feel like? At first, it feels amazing. Genuinely, legitimately incredible. You're sharp and focused and confident in a way you haven't felt in months. Every problem seems solvable. Every challenge seems manageable. This is exactly what you needed. You're working and it's all flowing perfectly. You're making connections you wouldn't normally make, writing better than you usually write, thinking clearer than you have in weeks. For maybe 20 minutes, cocaine delivers exactly what it promises. Then the chest tightness starts, but it's subtle enough that you can write it off as stress or poor posture or the third coffee you shouldn't have had. It's nothing. You've felt worse. But then it gets worse. The tightness turns into pressure, the pressure turns into pain, and suddenly you can't ignore it anymore because it feels like your chest is being crushed in a vice. Your heart's pounding so violently that you can feel it in your throat and hear it in your ears like a drum that's beating way too fast and completely out of rhythm. You stand up and the room spins, and that confidence you felt 20 minutes ago is completely gone, replaced by cold animal panic because your body is screaming that something is desperately wrong. You try to stay calm and convince yourself this will pass, that you just did a little too much and you need to ride it out. But deep down, you know this feels different from every other time you've done cocaine. Then you collapse and you're on the floor trying to reach your phone, but your body won't respond to what your brain is telling it to do, and the panic turns into pure terror. Your vision fades, and in those final seconds before your heart stops, you're not thinking about the meeting or the promotion or your career. You're just thinking, I don't want to die. Not like this, not alone, not over this. But you do, alone on your kitchen floor, in a suit that costs more than most people's monthly rent, because you wanted to be a little sharper for a PowerPoint presentation. Quick reality check. About 15,000 people die from cocaine overdoses in the United States every year, and the majority of them aren't street addicts living under bridges. They're people with careers and mortgages and families, people who genuinely believed they had their usage under control. Cocaine is absolutely everywhere in high-pressure industries like finance, tech, law, and entertainment. It's treated like a competitive advantage, something that separates the people who succeed from the people who don't. And for a while, it genuinely seems to work. You're more productive, more confident, more social, you close bigger deals, work longer hours, network more effectively. So you keep using because the benefits seem to outweigh the risks. But your tolerance builds faster than you realize. The line that used to get you through an all-nighter doesn't work anymore. So you cut a bigger one, then a bigger one, then one that's just slightly too big. Every single time you do cocaine, you're essentially spinning a roulette wheel. Most spins land on nothing, and you walk away fine. But you keep spinning, and eventually, mathematically, inevitably, it lands on the wrong number. One day, you're the rising star everyone's talking about, and the next day, your assistant finds you dead in your apartment when you don't show up for the most important meeting of your career. There's no safe dosage, no pure enough product, no I know my limits exception that protects you. It's just statistics and biology, and if you keep rolling the dice long enough, you will eventually lose. It reminds me to this film called Limitless with Bradley Cooper. So there you have it, cocaine overdose. Fast, painful, and completely preventable. The good news is you don't actually need cocaine to be successful at your job. Plenty of people make partner without putting stimulants up their nose. The bad news is, if you decide to do it anyway, there's a real chance your heart explodes in your apartment. So maybe just don't. Get actual sleep. Drink regular coffee. Go to therapy. Do literally anything except gambling with your cardiovascular system for a 20-minute productivity boost. Because the alternative is dying alone on your kitchen floor over a presentation that probably wasn't even that important in the grand scheme of things. Like and subscribe if you like this video. And remember that your heart doesn't care how big the promotion is. It just wants to keep beating. Oh, and one more thing. If you're sitting there thinking, I've done cocaine plenty of times and I'm fine, that's exactly what the person in this video thought 30 minutes before they died. Just something to consider.